Hey team, welcome to your weekly update. I have a few new things for you and a couple of reminders to go over this week. First, I want to start off with a really nice marketing piece that Amber Casey has made for us. Essentially, this is just a really attractive one-pager that I'd like to attach to all invoices as the clients depart. But you'll also notice this piece around in the exam rooms as we finish up the new process of FRPing and painting and making them all nice again. But you'll also notice them at the front desk in some acrylic stands around the lobby area and that kind of thing as well. As this piece is very, very important, it harbors a lot of tools and just really attractive pieces with some savings and things like that, and some even just upcoming things for us, like Best of Acadiana. We want people to nominate us to be able to be eligible to be voted for when that comes around, coming up soon. But it'll have savings for our online pharmacy, QR codes for voting for us versus our app, and also our online pharmacy. So lots of good, useful tools and information for our clients on these pieces that will be updated monthly by Amber every month. You can find this piece to have printed stock available to you up front to attach to each front of each invoice. Under the shared documents, under the CCS folder, I believe it's called CCS checkout sheet. And again, that will be just the old one would be removed and the new one will be added every single month so that you guys can print new ones. So please just be wary, save some trees. When it's getting nearer to the end of the month, maybe don't print quite as many, just so we don't have a bunch of wasted ones once the new month turns over. So please see those are attached ASAP so that we can get the most out of these and be extra useful and helpful to our clients. That would be wonderful. Also a new piece, resort late pickups obviously aren't new, but to add to that, we do want to help, guys. Apparently there's been more and more late pickups after 10 p.m., which I know is hard. We don't have as much staff, especially to help with like over across at the resort to get those babies home and checked out and everything like that. So we do know that this is creating the wow for our clients and such, but we are gonna try and meet in the middle here and say by 10 p.m. So please guide them by phone if they're calling and saying, hey, I'm gonna be late, it's gonna be after 6. Let them know, we can do that up till 10 p.m. So as long as they can do that and before 10 p.m., that is fine. We can still use the current process of late checkouts for late pickups at the resort. If they cannot be there by 10 p.m. that night, let them know that it's the same fee to just board their pet overnight, and we're happy to help them in the morning. Sorry for the inconvenience, but we feel like that's as far as we can do with the team that we have at that time. So I want to empower everyone to let that be known via phone so we can escape some of those difficulties we're having, in the evening times with those late pickups. If for any reason a pet is scheduled to depart and they are up front ready to go for late pickup and it's after 10, please just give the phone call to that particular client and be sure that they're not on their way. I would hate for you to take the extra time to go bring them to their enclosure and then pet owner show up 5-10 minutes late and then they're there, so we're gonna have to help them out. So please give them a call. And just be sure that they are not going to make it in. If they are on their way and some incident happened, just remind them, or of course if it's an accident or something like that happened, just create the wow for them and get them their pet, even if it's just a little bit later. I really think this timeline will help to reduce any instances, because 10 is definitely by and far beyond the call of duty as far as any other boarding facility. So I think that's still going to be a wow service to our clients. As far as reminders go, I just have a few items to just remind guys. I know we're all trying to help in the instance of like employees checking out for their own pets and just trying to be as helpful to Beryl and such as possible. But really guys, all we need is all line items, all regular charges put in. There are so many employees that have pet wellness plans and Trupanion. It's too difficult for everyone to be trained properly on how to discount those things and put in or not put in, all that kind of thing. So please just treat every employee just like a client in the way of creating a wow for them, obviously for their pets visits, but also just in their medical history. It needs to be exactly like a client. So go ahead and put in every line item, every charge, and then Beryl can take care of that from there. So if you need to just put a work list message for her, or whatever that might be, if you don't feel like charges are correct, that's totally fine. Obviously, I'd love for Beryl to correct all of those and be sure that it gets over to Trupanion or However, she can make sure that it's done properly for everyone. Secondary to that, we do have the hospital transfer code, transfer to hospital, for AVIMARK use. We want to be sure that we're using this correctly. So even if they're coming from the playground and resort, just like we do for the hospital when they're transferring over to those areas, we need to be sure that when they're transferring from the playground or the resort and they need to continue care there, that we're transferring that pet over to the hospital. That way we have good notes in. Again, this is not for appointments, because generally those pets are being transferred back, but if the pet is going to be hospitalized and having continued care, please utilize that transfer to hospital code. And then lastly, please be sure that we're all utilizing the cage cards and tags that we've created to identify when a pet is either receiving hospital services or resort services, depending on where the pet is and where they're going. It is a huge heart attack if you're the person who's caring for these patients and then suddenly they're gone, but otherwise everything seems normal in the enclosure. So that makes them very worried if they do not know a pet is receiving hospitalized services or resort services and they're suddenly gone. So please utilize those tags to keep our team members' hearts and sanity all in line, okay? So please utilize those for your team. It's a huge help. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope everybody's having a wonderful week. Thank you for all you do.